Welcome to First Steps to Cultivating Wellness. In this training, we will cover basic principles of mental health and easy strategies to support you in your mental health journey. This training is brought to you by Momentous Institute. Momentous Institute, founded by Salesmanship Club of Dallas in 1920, is a leading mental health organization that exists to strengthen children, families, and communities. By working alongside and within larger systems, we are cultivating a world of emotionally thriving people reaching their full potential. Let's get started. Mental health refers to a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It encompasses how a person thinks, feels, and acts. A person with strong mental health is able to manage their emotions and engage in healthy relationships with others. Think of mental health as one part of overall health. Overall health equals physical health plus mental health. We often hear about the importance of caring for our physical health, eating well, staying hydrated, and regularly visiting the doctor. But we don't hear as much about mental health and the steps we should take to proactively care for it. Instead, the conversation about mental health often focuses on mental illness, only jumping in when a person needs help with their mental health. It is our hope that we can switch this conversation. Wellness is not just a state of being, but a state of action. Mental health requires regular and consistent care and attention. When we think of it this way, we can prioritize the necessary actions to support overall health and well-being. Let's take a look at 3 components of mental health. Psychological well-being is a state of mind including our thoughts, our perceptions, beliefs, and cognitive functioning. Emotional well-being is how we experience and regulate our emotions and understand our feelings. And social well-being pertains to our relationships and interactions with others. Each of these 3 components work together to support our overall wellness. We must prioritize each in order to have a healthy and balanced mental state.
An important part of mental health is understanding the connection between our brain and our body. So let's ground ourselves in a few basic facts about the brain. The brain is a complex organ, but for the sake of simplicity, we're going to cover 4 main parts. The brainstem is the most primitive part of the brain and the first to develop. This part of the brain controls basic bodily functions such as breathing, temperature, and our heart rate. The amygdala is the emotional center of the brain. It functions as the brain's alarm system, alerting us to threats in the environment. But it also controls our emotional experiences, such as joy and fear. The hippocampus functions as the brain's filing cabinet, sorting and storing information. It is the memory center of the brain where our memories are kept and recalled for later use. The prefrontal cortex is the last area of the brain to develop because our brain develops from the back to the front. It is responsible for higher level cognitive functioning, such as reasoning, decision-making, and problem-solving. So now that we know these basic brain functions, let's look at how the brain functions during times of stress. Stress is a response to a real or perceived threat in the environment. The stress response are produced in the brain and the body and designed to help us escape from a situation. The stress response system typically triggers our body to go into fight, flight, or freeze. These responses occur in both the brain and in the body. So let's consider an example. Imagine you're driving down the freeway and a car abruptly cuts in front of you. Your brain's amygdala is the first to respond, alerting the brain and the body of danger. Next, your body snaps into gear. The body releases hormones that send blood to your muscle. Your tension narrows and your heart rate starts to increase. This allows you to slam the brake and steer out of danger faster than you can even process the situation logically. This is our brain and body system at work. During times of stress, the brain alerts the body and activates the stress response system. The nervous system triggers the release of hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which makes the heart beat faster, increases blood pressure and respiration, and slows down the digestive process, increases energy in the bloodstream to deal with the emergency. The stress response is helpful and important when needed, such as in the example on the freeway. But chronic stress can have negative long-term effects, including impaired cognitive functioning, weakened immune system, and an increased risk of various physical and mental health problems. It is critical to understand the important role that our brain and our body play in daily stress. This knowledge ensures that we take the brain and the body into account when managing stress and prioritizing our mental health. Caring for our mental health takes active responsibility and practice, but it doesn't have to be complicated. So let's cover a few simple strategies that can fold into your daily routine that can support your overall mental well-being. It's important to acknowledge that there are many factors that influence our mental health and that are outside of our control. Workplace dynamics, political factors, and interpersonal relationships all play a role in our mental health. Before identifying strategies, though, it's critical to focus on what is within our sphere of control. Outside of our immediate control may be areas in which we have influence, but are not within our scope. And beyond that are areas that lie outside of our influence. Identifying these areas allow us to prioritize only those in which we can truly make an impact.
As we mentioned, our brain and body both play a critical role in our overall mental health. For this reason, focusing on basic care for our bodies is an important strategy for supporting our overall well-being. Research shows that eating a well-balanced, nutrient-rich diet can lead to improved mental health. Food is the fuel for our body, and when we care for our body, we care for our physical and mental health. Studies have shown that diets rich in vegetables, fruits, unprocessed grains, and complete proteins can lead to lower risk for depression than diets consisting of refined foods and sugars. It's important to remember that food is cultural and communal, and nutrition can vary depending on communities, access, and more. By paying attention to nutrition, we can take an important step in managing mental health. Sleep is another important component of mental health. Lack of sleep or low quality sleep can increase the risk for health problems such as cardiovascular disease. It can also affect how well we think, react, engage with others, work, and learn. There are lots of factors that can impact sleep. Health problems, environmental factors, genetics, mental health challenges, and even technology. Given everything a person deals with in an average day, shutting everything out and winding down to get a good night's sleep can be difficult. Still, during sleep, the brain is engaging in critical tasks of processing and storing information, as well as clearing out the brain toxins. Studies show that a good night's sleep helps us pay attention and be creative and improves learning and problem solving. When we engage in movement, our muscles, joints, and cardiovascular system work together to improve overall health. Any type of physical activity, from workouts to walking, triggers the release of endorphins, often referred to as the feel-good hormones, which reduce stress and enhance mood. Movement also increases blood flow to the brain, boosting cognitive function and improving memory. Regular exercise has been known to reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression by balancing neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. Additionally, movement provides better sleep, improves energy levels, and strengthens the body's resilience to stress, all of which contribute to improved physical and mental health. These three body basics sound simple, but most of us know that staying on top of movement, sleep, and nutrition is no small feat, especially in times of stress. That's why it's important to give yourself grace and find small, sustaining ways to prioritize your well-being. An important tool for mental health is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the act of paying attention without judgment. We can use mindfulness to notice our emotions and sensations, allowing us to better understand and process them. Sensations are the physical experiences perceived through our senses, such as touch, sight, taste, and smell. Sensations can range from hot or cold to more abstract sensations such as buzzy. They are the body's interpretation of stimuli from the outside world. Feelings are our interpretation and reaction to sensations. They are the meaning that we apply to our physical experience of the body. When we practice mindfulness, we pay attention to both sensations and feelings. Mindfulness practices can vary from sitting in a quiet room to taking a walk in nature to listening to music and more. The important part of mindfulness is the opportunity to pay attention to your sensations and feelings. Once you have engaged in this practice of mindfulness, you are better prepared to evaluate sensations and feelings by asking yourself what is working and what might need to change. These mindful moments can lead to stronger self-awareness and overall mental health. Exposure to green spaces has been linked to improved mood, greater feelings of calm, and overall enhanced well-being. Research shows that taking just 20 minutes in nature significantly lowers the stress hormone cortisol, lowers blood pressure, and reduces anxiety. This is true for any place where a person can interact with nature, whether it's a park, public garden, or backyard. Spending time in nature provides us a connection to the world around us, giving us a break from the demands of daily life and helping restore emotional balance. In essence, nature offers a healing space that supports mental health and emotional resilience. Even with limited access to nature, there are still many ways to experience the benefits. You can bring elements of nature into your environment by incorporating plants, natural light, or even nature sounds through recordings and background music. Simply taking time to step outside, even in an urban environment, can offer refreshing change of scenery and a break from the stresses of indoor life. If outdoor access is limited, practicing mindfulness or meditation with nature imagery, such as visualizing a peaceful landscape, can replicate the calming effects of nature. The key is to find small, meaningful ways to reconnect with the natural world, no matter where you are.
Thank you for joining us for First Steps to Cultivating Wellness. It is our hope that you will walk away with the important message that mental health is an integral part of our overall health. We've explored 3 concrete strategies today. Focus on body basics to help support our brain-body connection, mindfulness to pay attention to our sensations and feelings, and spending time in nature to reduce stress and improve mood. By integrating these strategies into our daily lives, we can not only improve our own mental well-being, but also support those around us in meaningful ways. We encourage you to stay connected to your mental health and connect with us. Please follow Momentous Institute on social media and subscribe on our website to stay in the loop on upcoming events, training opportunities, and the latest resources to support your mental health journey.